news conference. We've got Daan, assistant coach, and Jaden Hendrikse. Yeah, we're very small and there's no online questions, so just raise your hands for questions and then we can get cracking.
Daan, maybe I can ask you, I know you're not the right guy to ask, but is there anybody that's not available for this weekend? No?
At this point, I don't think there's any injuries, so I think everybody is available for this game. So yeah.
Just maybe following that one up, just a sense of disappointment at not getting over the line in Argentina after getting so close. So you guys don't lose often, but I'm sure that's still never nice to go through.
Are you talking about the try line?
The result.
Okay.
Santiago.
Yeah, obviously we've been very disappointed. We always knew that it's going to be tough playing them there. There's a couple of guys that played there for the first time, which is not always, they haven't been there, so they know the stadium pressure, and for them it was an experience as well, and hopefully for them going forward they would have learned something out of it. So yeah, disappointed. Yes, obviously 100% we are disappointed, and we know there's a lot of areas that we actually can improve on.
Just obviously that makes this week all the more important. You need to sew up the rugby championship. You've got one hand on it already, but you've got to make sure that it doesn't slip. Just the attitude going this week in the team.
I think there's a great vibe in the team. One hand on it, I wouldn't say it that way. We haven't got a hand on it yet. We only can give it a hand on it if we're able to beat them. And I know it's going to be very tough. We all know we're all desperate, like they are. I think it's the best time ever since when they're part of the championship that they actually had 3 good results against all 3 teams, or all 4 teams, all 3 teams that they're playing against. So yeah, I think it's a great, they're in a great place as well. But we definitely 100% sure what's waiting us and what's need to be put in place to have a good result against them.
Daan, if you look at the permutations to win the championships, quite straightforward. Is that a discussion at all, or is it just focus just to win Saturday's test?
I think at the moment we're all thinking about one game. We're not looking at trophies, and obviously that can happen only if we beat them. But the one thing that we must definitely have a look at ourselves, where we can be better at in all certain areas, and then everything is possible. But there's going to be a lot of hard work into a very short week that needs to be done before we're actually able to beat them. But as I said, hard work will pay off at the end of the day. So whether it's on the field or in here, what we're actually trying to do at the moment now, we're going to need everything to beat them.
Just if you look at the log, would you say the 2 teams battling it out on Saturday's the 2 best teams in the competition this year?
Well, definitely. I mean, it's been tough for the New Zealand, who's also, they got a new coach and they busy also building, as they say, we're all building. We're trying to build every day on our last performance. But yes, they definitely, if you get a side that actually being able to beat all 3 sides, then I suppose the 2 best teams is on top of the log at the moment. I'm not saying at all that it was easy against Australia, although we beat them twice there, and definitely we had a bit of luck as well, but we were able to beat New Zealand twice here. But I think so.
Daan, after losing on a week like that, obviously I imagine the guys you left behind was part of the plan. But when you come back after having actually lost, how much of the selection becomes reaction to the result and sort of just keeping with the plan?
I reckon that's one of more of those questions that Rassi needs to answer. But anyway, I'll give you my thoughts on it. I think there was a certain reason, a certain planning going into the whole season from the start of the competition. So I think we planned to actually go and try to beat them there. We couldn't. but it's not taking us off the task. We still have our plan. We still need to implement our plan, and definitely if there's going to be made a couple of changes, then so be it. But I don't think there wasn't a guy with a lack of effort playing over there. I think we really tried very hard to beat them. Unfortunately, it comes down to 1 point, and we're not going to use any excuses. As I said earlier, we're going to try to work hard in all the areas to cover it all and to be much better the weekend.
Speaking of 1 point, I think you guys were quite mindful of the fact that when you were winning, in the quarterfinals, semis, and the final, it was on the right side of the result. And now that you've been on the wrong side of that result twice this season, do you think it's starting, that penny starting to drop in South African fans? Like, when you win by a point, it doesn't make you king of the world, or when you lose by a point, it doesn't make you the worst team in the world?
No, not at all. As I said, I mean, at the end of the day, it came down to 1 point, but I don't think so at all. I think what we almost try to avoid is not ending up coming down to a 1 point win. That's the ideal world. Unfortunately, it's test rugby. It's a bit tougher than club rugby. It's tougher to score tries, and obviously, if you make a couple of mistakes, it ends up more or less on conceding points.
Goeiemôre, welkom in die Laagveld.
Dankie.
Ek's Andri van Radio Laagveld 100.5 FM. My vraag is tweeledig, beide aan afrigter en spelers. Tot in watse mate, ons almal weet daar's 'n miljoen afrigters, skeieregters en spelers daar buite. So tot in watse mate hou julle sosiale media dop? En indien wel, wat is die proses van selektief wees ten opsigte van wat om te antwoord en wat nie?
Ja, interessante vraag. Weet jy, want ek is self op sosiale media, ek dink my kinders het vir my ietsie oopgemaak daar. Dit was nie ek self nie. Soos jy my ding eintlik nie. Ek sal nie sommer kommentaar lewer daar op sosiale media nie. Ek weet nie die jonger geslag nie. Kyk, ons is vriende. Ons is nie sulke goeie vriende dat ek praat oor hulle sosiale media besigheid nie. Ek weet nie, natuurlik seker almal, dis mos 'n nuwe wêreld waarin ons lewe. En hulle het natuurlik seker as jy goeders daarin lees of wil lees, maar soos ons altyd sê aan ons kant, wat ons aan ons kant kan reg doen is, ons kan maar net bly hard werk, en as dit 'n invloed op hulle het, ek dink in hierdie spanomgewing waar ons is, wat Rassie hier geskep het, dis 'n veilige omgewing, dis 'n plek waar ons wil wees, dis 'n plek waar ons veilig voel, en dis 'n plek waar ons mekaar omgee. Ek hoop nie dit is te veel woorde nie, maar ek kan vir jou een ding verseker, dis 'n omgewing waarin jy wil wees en waar almal veilig voel, spelers, afrigters, maar ons almal weet hier moet ons kant bring. En ek dink dit laat ons in die oomblik waar ons lekker kan ek sê tight voel, en dis waar ons gelukkig is.
Dankie.
Jaden, after your brother's heroics in the Currie Cup final, did you feel like you let the side out a bit by not being able to get over the line on Saturday?
Nah, not really. So I was really happy for him for where he started off at Marty's and now ending up at the Sharks. So I was really delighted for him. Really happy for him. So yeah.
Jaden, just on after the loss, there's obviously been a lot of people who've maybe gone a bit overboard and blamed Marnie for missing that kick. As from a player's point of view, just how do you guys, one, rally around the guy like Marnie in a situation like this, and two, just how does it feel as a player when something like that goes wrong and you get obviously the outrage or the outcry is maybe not is emotional and not nuanced a little bit?
Yeah, no, like when Mani was at the Sharks, I backed him 100%. Even if he does something wrong, I will still back him. So even if he kicks miss, I'll 100% back him. So like Coach Tony showed us now in the review, we had a lot of opportunities. So we can't say about the last kick. We had a lot of opportunities in the game to actually cleanse it. So yeah.
Jaden, so I know yesterday the bodies and minds were quite tired when you guys arrived at the airport, but was it still quite heartwarming to see the reception that you guys got from the locals, from the fans and everyone around?
Yeah, no, it was it reminded. I actually told Kainen now in the room yesterday. It reminded me of trophy tour. So it was nice when the people came out, support you. You know, people back you all the way, no matter you win or lose. So yeah, it was really delightful as players.
I'm not sure if you've had the chance of playing at Mbombela Stadium before, but it's known as a stadium that's usually got great atmosphere. So is that something that you as a player and that the whole contingent is really looking forward to?
Yeah, no, I did play the last time here against the All Blacks, so yeah, it was nice, young. The crowd is right here, close to you, so I really liked it when I played here, so yeah.
Probably one of the best crowds in South Africa. I mean, that atmosphere that when we arrived here today was unbelievable.
Are you backing us to beat the national anthem from earlier in the season?
I think you can top it up.
Fantastic.
Daan, to take you back to this past weekend, what were your thoughts on Ox's performance? Because quite a standout.
Yeah, well, you know, sorry.
Was it in that heat?
Yeah, in that heat. Obviously, we always prepare, like I said in the past, for worst case scenarios. I must say we did train in that circumstances. So it was actually a team performance. Are you talking about scrum or individual? Scrumming wise, I think it's always a team effort. We'll never go, listen, it's a one-man show there. But I can assure you that we did everything that we could to be performant. And I must say, I'm proud of him. As I said to him earlier on the flight, I still think he can be better. Yeah.
Where do you think he can be better?
No, in all areas.
Jaden, just for you personally, when you do compete against or in a big pool scrum halves like you do you get a bit of desperation to get game time, and when you do get game time to put in a strong performance?
Yeah, no, it's nice having competition. It brings the best out of you, and it keeps you on the feet, keeps you level-headed, because you know every day you have to work harder. Even every training session you have to work harder. So for me, I like it when there's competition. It will keep me grounded and keep me to work every day. So yeah.
And just coming back to your brother Sharks now, are you looking forward to playing alongside him for the Sharks?
Yeah, no, I am. I basically, he stays with me now also in Durban. So yeah, I'm really happy for him to be there now, and I can't wait for us to play together.
Who's going to be the best Hendrikse in the Sharks team?
I don't know. What do you think?
Jaden, tell me something. Is a week more or less enough for you to acclimatise from playing one place to another? Because Saturday's climate in Nelspruit is going to be really hot. It's like 37 degrees and it's huge humidity as well. So is a week enough to sort of acclimatise, or are you used to jumping from one continent to the other and acclimatising?
I think we used to it now. We do it in URC, so and we're professional players, so yeah, we look after our bodies well. So we do it in URC week in and week out. So I think we're used to it.
When you say you look after your bodies, what do you guys actually actively do?
Sleep. That's what I do. Sleep. Do recovery massages. So yeah.
Daan, the Lowveld is obviously it's a bit of a breeding ground for some serious rugby talent that you see throughout the history of South African rugby. Does that mean the Lowveld in Mbombela, as if we can get hyper local, holds a specific special place in the heart of the Springboks for a lot of the players who have played for the Pumas or have just grown up here now?
Yeah, I think if you think of players, I think Vincent Kroch, he played here, Faf played here, I think Dwayne is from this area as well. And I could see that Dwayne's from this area when we got here yesterday. People were really happy to see him back here. But yeah, I think the last time that we had a test match here was so welcoming. Everybody was looking so forward to coming back to Mbombela, especially the fact that we've been accepted here and been how can I say, how we've been experienced that week that we had here last time. It was special. We're staying here in a special hotel, as you can see out there. I mean, it's what a privilege to be here. And I think there's not one that's not happy to be back here. Obviously, hopefully we can deliver for them, the public, and I think we owe them actually, especially after Saturday, we owe the public, we owe ourselves, and we owe the whole country, because I know the whole country is behind us, and hopefully we can make them proud on Saturday.
Daan, in that second half, very powerful scrumming performance for probably the first 65-70 minutes, but in comparison to that, you guys struggled in those last maybe a couple of technical points there. Just you've now obviously watched the tape again. What happened in those last sort of 10 minutes? The scrums there with Carrot and Jan Hendrikse?
Yeah, I must just come in there. Lately, we actually privileged. It's all on hard disk. It's not anywhere on the tapes. But anyway, yeah, I think, you know what, Jan Hendrikse only his second test back. Oh, well, first test as a hooker, I think, at the national level. The first one was at prop. And I think he actually did very well. Obviously, there will always be, you know, new combinations. Although we worked hard in the week to get the timing right, one or two times they didn't. Oh, I don't say they didn't take the heat, but then we had a dominance on the heat, and then we went down for that. So I'm actually glad that, yes, the referee had a lot of patience as well, which we were glad to, because it's young guys coming in and try to make a statement. At least they were eager to scrum. And that's what we're working to get out of them. They were not hesitating, they were eager. And I think he actually did very well, Jan Hendrikse, when he came on, especially in the loose. He played very well. Obviously, we want to top up all the hard work from the start of the game till the end of the game. It starts somewhere. From that very first scrum, where we had a good scrum, and then little by little they found their feet as well, and they got better. And as we made the subs, I think in the second half we had really dominance, which we are glad for, but our pressure plan will never work if we didn't do it in the first half. So yes, we're glad for for the bomb squad guys came on and make a difference, but that's only doable if the first guy starters do their job properly. So we're glad for that.
I was going to ask you as well, your department is probably the one that doesn't have to fight about too much. You guys have been pretty successful over the last couple of years, and especially this season. How do you keep it from there becoming some complacency in the scrum? Because obviously you almost fans almost expect you to go into every scrum and now win a penalty now.
Expectations is a big thing. I'll always say, like my father always used to say to me, don't tell me what you're going to do, tell me what you've done. Yeah, so it comes down to that, speaks to our team as well. It's basically everyone, we want to go for whatever we want to get the best result out of it. But I think it speaks to our training sessions. The training sessions is as intense, and I think with the 2 or 3 different front rows that we actually have here, we keep ourselves like a based on the ground. As tough as possible. We know every day anyone can start, anyone can finish the job for us, but we keep them nice on the ground there, and they realize it's a team effort, it's not a one-man show. So once becoming a one-man show, you think you're getting a little bit high. I try to always, keep your feet on the ground, your head on your shoulders. I think obviously if you hurt someone, you will obviously always coming back harder the next time. And we must expect that. We must expect that from them this week as well. And we must work on ourselves where we can get it better. Because yes, we must focus on them. It's vital. 100% it's vital. But let's work on ourselves where we can get better. And that's how it's a way to keep their feet on the ground as well, to see where we can improve. Sorry.
Guys, you can ask in Afrikaans now at all, because we're running out of time.
Ask one last thing.
Yeah.
Daan, just to take you back to Jan Hendrikse, you've been around front rowers most of your life. Obviously him playing 2 positions in the front row, is there one you look at him and think this is his better position?
Not at the moment actually, because I think he had a proper game against Australia over there for the first time, and he played against a guy which almost got 80 caps. I think he did a great job there for us. Unfortunately, I think on Saturday there was only 2 or 3 scrums, and he had only 1 line out, which he got 100% right. It's never, for us, He's a swinger. He can play not yet tight head. We work on that. I'll get him there. It's going to take a little bit of time, but for the moment we see him as a prop and a hooker. I think he can be a world-class player going forward, but there's other props as well. He must first make the team. So we're backing all the guys, and once they're in there, it's a team effort. So then we'll always try to pack the lunchbox as proper as that we can eat well. So get him well prepared for where he's going to play.
Just in English, guys, big week for Eben. I suppose we would be amiss if we didn't ask you guys about Eben and his influence on the team. Maybe anything personal that you guys, stories that you guys have about Eben, Jaden, even at the Sharks, if there's something you remember as well.
Yeah, I know it's a big milestone. I was still 11 years old when I saw Eben made his debut, so yeah, it's a big milestone to be the most capped Springbok. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think I still think he's a better person than he is a rugby player. He's a wonderful guy. He's coachable. He's got the most caps at the moment. He most probably will be the most capped player ever for South Africa on Saturday. But he's a good guy, feet on the ground, always willing to learn, and he's a team man. I think if there's one guy that I can think of, if you look at a Springbok, it's Eben Etzebeth standing out. So yeah, he's a great example for all the youngsters as well, and for the whole team. I think it's one guy that put the Springbok always first.
Afrikaans. Dankie julle. Julle moet net